Hello everyone and welcome to the Red Bull Ring for round 7 of the URL-GT3 Championship in Assetto Corsa. With only 2 rounds to go, the championship could make a deciding turn of events here if Florian Kutz takes enough points in front of Robert Horvat. But let's have a look at the qualifying results. Mihovil Markovic put his Nissan on pole with a 130.1. Miguel Santiago Carao put his Audi in second with a last-ditch effort, only 1/10 behind. And Tony Ukic, another Nissan, in third spot, 3/10 behind. Times are generally very close here on this track, so the racing is very good. The Nissans seem to be quite quick here, so let's see in the highlights of the race what happened. Here we are on the grid at the Red Bull Ring, and Tony Ukic will have to start the race from the pit lane. Can Mihovil Markovic get a good exit from the line? Yes, he does. And the field fans out, 3 wide mostly. Mihovil unthreatened through turn 1, but then it's very close between Miguel Santiago Carao, Nicolas Simic and Gregory Olivier. 2 wide, going into the hairpin, and behind as well Florian Kutz, Reinhard Berger and Peter Abelovsky jostling for position, literally. Gregory Olivier tries to go around the outside of Nicolas Simic, but he has to stay behind for the moment. Florian Kutz gets in front of Reinhard Berger in the Camaro, so our championship leader in front of Robert Horvat, who would have to start from the back of the pack after a qualifying penalty from last race. But Reinhard Berger is not giving up that easily. Still on the inside of Florian Kutz. Can he keep it around the outside? It seems he can. Yes, he does. So Florian Kutz up to P4 behind Gregory Olivier and Nicolas Simic. And Ivan Gridello, Alex Scott, Craig Metcalf, followed by Robert Horvat. So he's making his way up the field. Matthias Christensen and Sando Donadel in last position, but Tony Ukic started the race from the pit lane. So ending lap 1, Mihovil Markovic with a healthy gap already to Miguel Santiago Carao. He clearly has the pace to run away from the pack. Miguel going a bit wide there, but all hell kicking off behind. Here is the whole field finishing lap 1, and let's have a look at that 3 wide action that we saw from onboard Reinhard Berger's car. So he's behind Nicolas Simic and Florian Kutz with Gregory Olivier in front, and he makes it 3 wide. Let's go back to Peter Abelovsky's view. So who will make it out on top? Nicolas Simic is on the outside, gets a small tap from Florian Kutz, goes off the track, and if you look in the rear view mirror, causes some mayhem with Simon Fillingham going off into the barriers. But can Peter Abelovsky make the pass here on Reinhard Berger? He is in front, but Reinhard has the inside, gets it stopped and keeps the position. Alex Scott behind, gets past Ivan Gridello in the Mercedes just now. So he's being followed by Magno Liguori, who is a lap down, unfortunately, as he also had to start from the pit lane. But Ivan Gridello gets back at Alex. Can he keep it around the outside, sorry? Yes, he can. So here's that same lap 2, turn 1, riding with Sando Donadel, avoiding Nicolas Simic, avoiding Simon Fillingham. Nasty incident there for Nicola and Simon, and Sando Donadel getting in front of Matthias in that mayhem, riding the Scuderia Cameron Glickenhaus versus the McLaren, 2 cars we didn't see this season, or not yet at least. Riding with Matthias Christensen. Sando Donadel is right there on his left, who will come out on top, braking hard for turn 3. Matthias Christensen goes a bit too deep into the corner, and that's Sando Donadel taking the position from him. Can he get back at Sando? He has to stay behind for now. Then riding with Alex Scott, he's behind Mitchell Smith. They get past Ivan Gridello. Can Alex also get past Mitchell? He has to stay behind for now, but there's a good uphill section here. Can he use the speed of the Mercedes to get alongside? He can get alongside, barely on the track, almost onto the grass. And they have a small touch. Alex Scott getting the worst of it. He was on the outside. And Mitchell Smith stays in front. While we see Robert Horvat also behind, having a look at Ivan Gridello. Here's Peter Abelovsky then, trying to get past Reinhard Berger again after their first lap battle. And he gets the job done here on the inside of the second to last turn. Very tricky, but he gets it done. Then riding with Gregory Olivier, goes for the inside, although it was almost completely blocked. A small tap there from Miguel Santiago Carao, and it's our championship leader taking advantage of these two having their battle. Florian Kutz moves up into P2, and Gregory Olivier stays behind Miguel Santiago Carao for now. So after Peter Abelovsky, it's Robert Horvat here, our championship contender. Challenger for Florian Kutz. He has to get up the field quickly to gain enough points to let the championship go down to the wire. He's on the inside of Alex Scott, and the Camaro on the brakes keeps it on the inside, and job done for Robert Horvat. Then riding with Gregory Olivier, he got past Miguel Santiago Carao after a small mistake, and he has the pace on Florian Kutz. Can he get up into P2? Yes, he can on the inside in turn 1. He keeps it clean, and he stays in front of Florian Kutz. Can he retake the position into turn 2? That's the question. Or will he settle for a third? Just behind them, it's Peter Abelovsky chasing down Miguel Santiago Carao. Will he go around the outside? Miguel brakes a bit too early there, missed his braking marker, and that leaves the door wide open for Peter Abelovsky to go around the outside and take that position. And then riding with his teammate Robert Horvat, he's right behind Mitchell Smith, taking a very wide line here, but still legal. And the Camaro is quite a bit faster on the straight here than the Ferrari, so the Ferrari has to really get his advantage in the second sector here, and Robert Horvat makes it look easy and gets through, but it's far from easy on this track. If you see how close all the guys are, it's a really tough battle to fight. Alex Scott is in front of Ivan Gridello, so it's a four-way battle here, getting very, very close. Ivan Gridello seems to have the pace on Alex. Better exit out of the hairpin off turn 2, and he's trying to go around the outside. Can he get the braking right? That's the first step. Then keep it around the outside. Alex Scott already backed out of it, so Ivan Gridello gets the position, but Alex Scott is still side by side. He went for the over-under, but he's not far enough alongside to make any move to get back that position, so Alex Scott has to slot in behind Ivan Gridello for now. Then looking back here, and this must be looking back at Tony Ukic. Here he is getting past Alex Scott as well, so Tony Ukic and Robert Horvat slicing through the field as they try to keep their championship hopes alive. And then Peter Abelovsky getting past Reinhard Berger, or at least trying. They're right in front of Miguel Santiago Carao, and Reinhard Berger went for the over-under, the undercut into turn 1, and it was a good one. He's on the inside for turn 2. Hard braking, and Reinhard is still on the inside, but he has to slot in behind after the torque of the Camaro sets in, and that allowed Miguel Santiago Carao to get back close to these guys that just passed him a few laps ago. This proves how close the pace is. No one is really running away with it, unless we are talking about Mihovil Markovic. He built up a healthy lead already, and there's no real threat from behind. Gregory Olivier in second and Florian Kutz in third position. Let's go back here and look at Tony Ugic now, trying to get past Ivan Gridello, just in front of Alex Scott, and he makes the move stick. Ivan going a little bit wide onto the curbs and not carrying enough speed through turn 1 to be able to defend from Tony Ugic. Oh, he goes a bit too deep into the corner. Can Ivan get back to him? That will be tough. You see the torque of the Nissan working there, slightly pulling away from the Audi, and that's very difficult to make any move then here into turn 3. Then here riding with Miguel Santiago Carao, he's behind Reinhard Berger. Peter Abelovsky is just in front, and Reinhard didn't get a good exit from turn 1. Miguel looking at the outside line. Reinhard has the defensive line. If he can get it stopped in time, he will keep the position. But Miguel going around the outside, and Reinhard slots in behind immediately. He knows he's beaten for this corner, and he will try to get back at Miguel in turn 3. Seems to be a bit too far back, but you never know what he has up his sleeve, the German. This is of course the good sector for the Ferrari here, the twisty, high-speed cornering section with the good arrow. Can just turn it in, get onto the power, but not gaining a lot of time on Miguel here. Oh, goes a bit wide onto the gravel. He will be slow. Oh, Berger has to take avoiding action. He's on the inside. Can he take the position? Because he's not too far in front yet. Small tap, but Reinhard Berger goes through. So can he hunt down Peter Abelovsky, or will he have to keep looking back at Miguel to defend his position? Miguel looking at the inside line here and making the pass. So Reinhard Berger will have to try again and make this pass. So then here riding with Mihovil Markovic, our race leader, just before the pit stops. He's not being followed by Matthias Christensen, but by Gregory Olivier. Matthias is a lapped car. Gregory Olivier got past Florian Kutz and built up a healthy gap. Florian Kutz in third, keeping his championship ambitions very alive. Then Peter Abelovsky, Robert Horvat, Miguel Santiago Carao, and Reinhard Berger, and that's a four-way battle here behind Miguel. Reinhard Berger is behind, but also Tony Ugic and Mitchell Smith just before the pit stops, but Mitchell would have a connection issue. We see him going straight into the wall there, just in front of Ivan Gridello. So let's see if he can get his car back on track. Alex Scott then, Greg Metcalf, Nikola Simic and Simon Fillingham round up the grid. And then in the pit stops, Gregory Olivier pitted one lap later than his rival Florian Kutz, who closed down the gap after an incident with Matthias Christensen while being lapped. And here he is coming out of the pits. That's Florian Kutz coming through turn 1. Who will be ahead? I think it's Florian. Yes, he is. He is in front. Can Gregory immediately capitalize and retake his second position, or will have to fight harder? Let's have a look. He's on the ideal line, but on the outside line, so Florian Kutz is able to defend quite easily at this moment. The Nissan is looking very quick though here, with Mihovil Markovic setting the pace. Incredible pace by him here in this race. Untouchable. Around the outside for Gregory. Florian keeps it on the inside. He will be on the outside for the next corner though, so let's see. Can Florian keep his car on the outside and pressure Gregory in a tighter line? Yes, he can. In this next corner, can he do the same? Yes, he can. Absolutely great racing by these two, door to door. almost touching, but not doing so. Gregory still on the ideal line now. Will Florian back out of it or not? No, he doesn't. They're still side by side. They spent the whole lap absolutely side by side, and Florian Guts stays in front for this lap, but it's not over yet. Oh, Gregory had a good exit from the last turn there. Now he has the inside line for turn 1, and surely if he brakes in time, gets good speed through turn 1, he can keep second position. Florian is right behind him. Can he make a move? The Nissan seems to be pulling away a little bit, so I don't think Florian will be able to make any moves here into turn 2, but he will surely keep trying throughout the whole second stint. His championship rival is not too far back than Greg Metcalfe. In the second stint was battling very hard with Ivan Gridello. This would be a stint-long battle between them. Greg Metcalfe and Ivan Gridello coming into the pits together, and Greg getting out in front. Then 7 laps or so into the stint, Ivan got very close, a bit of oversteer there, but he can correct it in the Audi. Then unfortunately a slide there for Greg Metcalfe and a tank slapper into the gravel, and he will have to pick up the pace to close that gap down back to Ivan Gridello. And then Reinhard Berger went into the pits right behind Miguel Santiago Carao and came out of the pits in exactly the same way. He's trying to get that position away from the Audi driver, and Tony Ukic is right behind these two. Mitchell Smith unfortunately, misshift there by Reinhardt. This will allow Tony to get past Shirley. Look at that speed difference. Yes indeed. Mitchell Smith dropped out of the race unfortunately. Oh, Reinhardt, that's very tight, but they keep it clean. Tony gives Reinhardt some room after braking a bit too late, and Tony takes the position. Reinhardt not giving up yet, going for the over-under, cutting back, but he doesn't have the speed to get alongside and pressure Tony into a mistake like Florian did with Gregory, keeping him on the inside line and making him a bit slower. Reinhardt has to stay behind, although this is his good sector for the Ferrari. He will have to stay behind for now. At the end of that lap, here he is still very close to Tony, and Tony clipping that yellow curb there, slightly losing some speed, and that's Reinhard Berger taking the position away from him again, and this gives Miguel Santiago Carao in front a bit of breathing space from these two top-notch drivers. On the next lap then, Tony put the pressure on Reinhardt with a bit wide over the sausage curbs, losing speed, and that's the move done and dusted for Tony before the braking zone. I don't think Reinhardt will be able to get back past him. So then Tony set his sights on Miguel, and he closed the gap. Miguel there a bit wide out of the second to last turn, losing some speed. Going defensive. And absolutely side by side, but Tony has the better line and the better speed through turn 1, so he gets in front, and we are in the absolutely final stages of the race. Can Miguel get back at Tony Ukic? Braking for turn 2. Tony a bit on the inside there. Not good traction for the Audi, but the torque of the Nissan kicking in now. Gap stays the same, and Tony stays on the defensive inside line to block any moves from the Audi. And the undercut, as we've seen so many times, and Miguel has a bit of overlap there, as we see some smoke from someone in front. Tony stays in front. Oh, going very, very wide. Matthias Christensen getting out of the way of this battling pair. And a bit of a wide line for Tony. Miguel has more speed here through this section. Can he get past? This is the second to last turn, second to last lap as well. Oh yeah, Miguel gets a good exit out of the last turn, side by side with Tony Ukic, but then drama struck, brake failure for Miguel Santiago Carao as he goes straight ahead, and luckily Tony Ukic not affected by that. He goes on to take that position, and shame this battle had to end like this. Reinhard Berger was also involved in this battle, was not too far back, and he will also try to take the position from Miguel Santiago Carao as they approach turn 2, and Matthias Christensen gets out of the way. Oh, Reinhard braking on the curbs, gets it stopped around the outside, and he takes the position. So that's job done for Reinhard Berger on the very last lap, and the battle between Ivan Gridello and Greg Metcalf went to the wire as well. This is the very last lap, the last sector, only 2 turns to go. Greg Metcalf closed down the gap again to Ivan after his mistake getting into the gravel. And then Ivan going a bit wide understeering there onto the AstroTurf, and that's Greg Metcalf taking 10th position away from him. So Greg finishing in the top 10 in the Red Bull Ring. That was it for this race. Here are the highlights and the standings. Mihovil Markovic, a commanding lead with the Nissan in front of his own teammate Gregory Olivier, 20 seconds behind. And look at that fastest lap, that's even faster than the pole sitting time. 1:29.9, extremely fast pace there from Mihovil Markovic. Florian Kutz put his Camaro GT3 in 4th position. Peter Abelovsky and Robert Horvat, the teammates, were in 4th and 5th, and Robert keeps his Drivers' Championship hopes alive, but only theoretically. Something has to go very wrong with Florian Kutz to not take the driver's title in the 3rd season of URL-GT3 in Assetto Corsa. Then Tony Ukic made his way up to P6 after starting from the pits all the way in the back of the pack. Reinhard Berger in 7th, we saw him passing Miguel Santiago Carao on the last lap. Alex Scott also finishing on the lead lap in 9th. Then the battle between Greg Metcalf and Ivan Gridello, we saw they finished the race 2/10 apart. Simon Fillingham and Matthias Christensen were the last finishers, and we had some DNFs with Nicola Simic, Mitchell Smith, Sando Donadel and Manuel Liguori. So thanks for watching the highlights of this race. It was a great one. Very nice battles, and next time we are going to Interlagos for the last round of this season, and that will wrap up the Teams and Drivers Championship. So join us at Interlagos. Go to unitedracersleague.com to race with us, or just subscribe to this channel to get these highlights videos when they come out. Thank you, and see you next week.